Morning. Hi, this is Travis from the National Weather Service, and this is your weather hazard briefing for Saturday, November 15th. We will see a brief break in the weather today. Looks like we're going to have high pressure move over us, be dry, a little bit warmer than expected for this time of year, 10 to 15 degrees. And then as we go into Sunday and Monday, we'll have an upper level low move over us. Snow levels will be quite high to start with, 9,000, and then drop to around 7,000 by Monday, late Sunday into Monday. And go in the snow amounts at this point. But for the most part, again, it'll be above 8,000 feet, potentially 3 to 5 inches of snow. But again, we'll show you those amounts here in a second. Rain and snow then continues Tuesday and Wednesday, although there's a lot of uncertainty because the next system comes in. It could be a split system, and we're right in the middle where we may not get much. But the temperatures will drop from what we see Sunday, Monday, another 5 to 10 degrees. So we'll be still above normal, but it'll be in that 3 to 6 degree range as we go into midweek. We'll certainly feel cool compared to what we've had recently. Here's our satellite imagery. We do have a ridging right here. It's very dry. There's just some upper level clouds in that ridge, and the upper level lows down here off of the coast of California. This ridge will move over us today, bring dry conditions, just some mid-level clouds. We'll see some clearing by afternoon, but then the clouds will move back over us in the evening as this upper level low starts to approach us and move over us Sunday into Monday. This kind of indicates us that we're going to see probably the most rain and snow showers is likely the upslope areas in the Wood River Valley area, as well as the Wasatch. Could potentially, most of the area will get 1/10 of an inch of precip over the period, although the high amounts will probably be in the 0.35 to 0.4, but the upslope areas will probably be around 0.6 to 0.75. So that would lend to about 6 inches of snow, potentially a little bit more, but again, it's going to be very warm ahead of time. So these areas in yellow are where it probably get the most snow, but again, it's going to be probably above 8,000 feet because these are upslope areas that's going to get more precip. And then we'll have a lingering precip into Monday. Again, I gave you those totals between Sunday and Monday. And then we have that split system Tuesday into Wednesday. Not looking at a lot of precip at this point. I'll show you the QPF mounts, but they're pretty light. The system would have to move more south over us. The northern system or the southern system would have to move up farther. But right now we're kind of in the middle. It's pretty far out there, so we're not going to go too much into detail on that one. Here's our temps for the day. Very nice, 10 to 15 degrees above normal. Again, by the afternoon, you should see some sunshine. So those up-level clouds that will dissipate a little bit before moving back in. And then here's our wind gusts. Hardly anything today under high-pressure ridge. Relatively light. Chance of precip, hardly anything. It'll be late. But again, really, it's not really going to be until mid-morning on Sunday till we see something. Here's our temperatures. In the morning on Sunday, you can see warmer because the cloud cover comes in. And then as we go, barely hitting 60s with all the cloud cover and hardly any sunshine, and the ridging kind of dissipating and that low moving in. But still, that's still above normal. And then here's our wind gusts on Sunday, particularly in our southern areas, as that low approaches. That'll be our gust areas. Not too bad, but a gust of 25 to 30 in the mountaintops mainly. And here's our chance of precip. Again, those upslope areas will be really favored because that southerly wind ahead of time as that low moves in. And then here's our QPF. Generally up to a 1/2 inch. In the upslope, you'll start to see these dark blues in here. Typically, when you get southerly flow, it always models don't quite pick that up, so we'll probably get a little bit more than a 1/2 inch, probably up to the 3/4 inch range. And the Wasatch Mountains, as well as the Wood River Valley, the Pioneers and Baldy, those areas really do well in a southerly flow. Here's our low temperatures for Monday morning. Again, a little cooler in our northern areas, and then we still have the cloud cover, so it's a little bit warmer than normal in the valleys here. Here's our high temperatures on Monday. They do drop, a good 4 to 8 degrees after that low moving through. and then expect them to drop even more as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday. You'll be widespread 40s. Here's our gust behind that system that moves through. That upper level low that moves through here, you'll have a little bit of lingering gust in the Snake Plain and Arco Desert. And here's your precip on Monday. Just again, some lingering precip, and then the QPF amounts are higher as that low moves out. Again, it'll be kind of wrapping around for the Island Park area, so that's where they'll get the higher amounts. And as we go into Tuesday, you can see that quite a bit of cooler temperatures across the area. There's those 40s. There's those morning lows we talked about, and the high temperatures on Tuesday. Tuesday afternoon, just slightly breezy, not that bad. And again, the QPF right now will be highly dependent on whether or not if the upper system goes a little bit farther south or the lower one goes a little farther north. We seem to be kind of in the middle, kind of just favor the upslope areas, kind of general moisture in the area. But I suspect this will back off a little bit if we remain in the middle of those systems. And you can see the QPF is relatively light. As we go into Wednesday morning, even cooler, and then still in the 40s, if not even a few degrees cooler than Tuesday as far as your highs on Wednesday. And your gusts are not that bad, just slightly breezy in the Snake Plain. And then chance of precip on Wednesday. Again, this will be dependent, but it's really kind of showing a system pulling out and just kind of upslope flow against the mountains and the Tetons and the Eastern Highlands. But again, the QPF amounts will be relatively light. Just as a summary, we'll have high pressure over us today. Not seeing much today other than just much warmer than normal temperatures, 10 to 15 degrees. Really nice, really. And then we have an upper level low moving over Sunday into Monday. Start really high, snow levels 9,000 feet, and then dropping about 7,000 feet. With the best areas, the Wood River Valley, the upslope, and as well as the Wasatch will probably see the most precip. Probably about half an inch, potentially up to 3/4, and that'll be equate to about 6 to 8 inches of snow up high, about over 8,000 feet. And then rain and snow will continue Tuesday and Wednesday, although we do cool down. Snow levels will definitely be around 7,000 feet, if not drop a little bit more. And then, but again, we look to be in the middle of the system, so we're not looking for a lot of impacts there. And like I said, the temperatures are going to drop to solid 40s as highs as we get into the middle of the week. So that concludes the briefing. If you have any questions, give us a call at this number. Thank you.